Howdy and aloha. Welcome to Manata. The earth and you are ohana. We hope you stay and talk. Howdy and aloha, everyone. It's James Montauk, June 23rd, 2024. This is my ongoing documentary of the absolute lunacy that is covering our planet and plaguing it at the same time. However, there is a tiny speck of hope, and it comes by one guy, which is never a good idea. But since nobody wants to go out and do a billion-man march, like I've been trying to get people to do for a long time, since early 2020, we're just going to have to just throw the dice and move our mice. If you know what that is. Anyway, it's not funny. It's really not funny. But that's where we're at. We're just hoping somebody does the correct things, the legal things, the honorable things, in restoring the country, its character, its ethics, its folkways, its norms, its personality, which I think has deteriorated definitely in the past 3.5, almost 4 years now. And that's at the hands of a guy named Pedo Joe, or Crooked Joe, or Sleepy Joe, or whatever, just some fucking puppet on a stick. I mean, literally, I was saying last night, the guy looks like he's walking around like America, fuck yeah, Team America puppets. Thunderbirds, if you've ever seen. I mean, it's the fucking most, it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen, to see this guy, and he's always stumbling physically, mentally, audibly. He can't carry. I don't see how. You got a guy right now by the name of Trump that fucking, he's a jabberjaw. I mean, he should have my tattoo. It's funny because the guy freaking just stay on stage for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Just, fucking strung, just talking to him like a human being. Maybe he's not saying every single thing that you want to hear, but most of the stuff he is getting kind of comes from him. Yeah, there's a prompter, we all know, but he goes off course. I would say every other sentence. If he stuck to the prompter, it would probably be about 35, 40 minutes of him, reading. Biden, on the other hand, Pedo Joe, I don't think there's anything. He reads verbatim. Pause. And then he will, move in a certain way or say something. Go to the blue mark. Go to the blue mark. Go to the blue mark. Okay, now stand there. Okay, wave. Have you seen his cue card? I mean, his handler's cards. And how many times has this guy said, they're going to get mad at me, or they're going to not let me do this, and they are going to, not let me say that. I can't do this. Who the fuck is running this guy? It's pretty sad. Anyway, I sent the Zoom to Snork and to Cheryl and Jordan. If you want to jump in, you're more than welcome to. We're good. Well, but wait till they get here so we can all kind of have some questions, because I think we're going to be talking about Bergam, I think his name is. Let me look him up real quick. Let me see if Snork is. I got to tell Snork it's on his. Make sure your lighting's good, everybody. Or not great, but okay. Where's Snork? Go to. I was going to try to get on earlier, everyone, but it was just not in the cards. I was visiting with my family, and then I started working on my truck. I fixed the AC wasn't blowing well because the door in there. I had the screws. I fixed it. It was a pain in the ass, but I fixed it. I went through a very wet shirt to fix it. It's just fucking hot, and I was in the shade too. Oh no, global warming! Global warming! Global warming! AKA summer. Like I said, we don't have a climate change problem. We have a geoengineering and cloud seeding / chemtrail problem for sure, along with a pollution management problem. Absolutely. If I keep hearing this shit about climate change, I swear to God. We have a problem. I'm not saying there's. I've lived in LA when there's so much carbon dioxide from the traffic, it creates its own cloud. People don't understand that it doesn't just go up, it sits and it lays there. And it's a dark brown cloud, and the tall buildings in LA will stick up out of it. Now, when you go inside of it, it's not good. You can't breathe. But here's the thing. Oh, I got a stem. LA doesn't have a lot of trees. You don't get that kind of effect if you're out in a rural area. Trees eat carbon dioxide for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a late night snack. But there's just concrete everywhere. And if there's no wind, it just sits there. Wind picks up, it goes out into the southeastern desert, kind of goes over the northern part of San Diego County, Southern California, and it's gone. I've just gotten too much information in regards to it. It just doesn't fucking exist. And I swear to God, Jill Stein, she's such a letdown. Jesse Ventura, such a letdown. We are at the precipice, almost past the precipice. Mana, are you the VP? I know I could do a far better job at whatever anybody's doing in the administration, and especially at POTUS. I could fucking I could have had this place fixed a long time ago, but you've got to have a reputation. You've got to have clout. You have to have a business sense. When Ross Perot ran, I think it was against Clinton and a few, I voted for him. I like when you have a hard-working American in there. somebody who understands business, who understands the trenches, putting in the time, the effort. And if you say that Trump's not fucking doesn't work his ass off, I don't know what you're watching. Because the guy goes to rallies, thousands and thousands of people, not 50 people like fucking AOC and Jamal Bowman and Bernie Sanders just had at the Bronx. God, that was such a fucking joke. And then he goes to these frivolous, biased, destruction of democracy hearings coming from the Demoncrats, aka the pot calling the kettle black party. Really sad. But it's impressive. The guy fucking shows up and he's there. He was just at I think a sandwich shop in Philly, and he got everybody a sandwich, and then he tipped everybody that worked there $500. And he as he was leaving, no, it was Pennsylvania. I think it was Pennsylvania. And as he was leaving in his plane, that the Biden administration doesn't want to protect anymore, which they're supposed to when you have somebody that's pulling over you by 10 fucking points, according to Rasmussen. Yeah, I'm going to look that guy up. I'm just waiting for snort. Or I hope he didn't take it. Wake up, Snark. After I did some work on my truck, visit with my granddaughter, my daughter, brother-in-law, work on my truck, spend some time with the family. Wonderful people. Wonderful, intelligent, I can't believe, honestly, sometimes my kids just outdo me. I'm just amazed how amazing they are. It's just fucking, I don't know what the fuck. It's not for me. They got some damn good moms. They have a good, it's called the Good Village. When you have a solid dad, solid mom, solid dad, mom, whatever. Yeah. And you have support around them. It's a village raises children. Period. Anyway. What's got? Okay, Snores Zoom. I send the meeting to him. Get that. Okay. All right, I'm going to jump in then. I can't stop eating these grapes. Grapes are good. I like grapes. All right, Doug Burger. Here we go. Oh, wait, where'd it go? Here we go. Here he is. Doug Burgum. He's got, that's who he reminds me of. The guy from American Pie, comedian The Dad. Let me get his name. Oh, there he goes. Snoke's here. You don't have to apologize, Snoke. It's okay. I'm just kind of just going through the motions. Welcome, good seeing you. I can't see you, but I kind of can see you. You're muted. Let me.
Might lean too far back.
No, I don't know. I kind of. No, you're fine. It's just see how bright I am? Anyway, that's not a big deal. I don't care. That's not a big deal to me. I'm just thinking about the viewers. That's all. I'm just thinking about the.
My walls attenuate light.
They
So I
suck it
actually
up.
have, if I want any light on me, I actually have to.
Oh no, it's okay. No, you don't have to do all that. Don't even worry about it. It's all
So
good.
I've got to rebuild the room.
To a
Kind of
studio.
low priority.
Well, my room is kind of set up that way. I have a interesting fixture that creates as a pretty good light, and then I just have light behind me. It works. It works really good. I'll show you. Let's show you real quick. Watch. Hopefully I can turn it back. Here, watch. There it is. It's a plate with a light behind it. It's this white
Yeah.
styrofoam plate, and it creates that circle, so it's not a direct light with a lot of shadow behind it. But I think that's not. I think that's a kind of a brilliant thing, don't you think? I think that's pretty.
Yeah.
That's
I
some
can
good
actually
ingenuity.
probably make it a little bit lighter in here.
No, you don't have to. Okay, anyway. Nice and I hopefully Cheryl will show, but even if she doesn't, I know she'll be participating somewhere or another. We also have. Remember, I don't have a lot of followers right now, but I do put my information on Facebook. I'm live on Facebook right now. I'm live on X right now, and of course, I'm live on YouTube as well. And the title of this is Trump VP ? And then also it says Demoncrats and Rhipiglicans are WEF puppets, and I think we already know that. But anyway, let me just keep looking at this Bergman dude. Do you know who the guy is that was the dad of American Pie? Do you remember his name?
Was it Levi?
Levi. It was Levi something, not Strauss.
Yeah, I know. I just forgot after all this time.
Nah, I know. Yeah, it's been a long time. I'm gonna wait. Levi American Pie. There it is. Eugene Levy.
Eugene Levy. Okay.
I mean, come on. I mean, you've got some similarities here. Watch this. I'm going to do it again. Let me just put it. Eugene Levy. Oh man, we're right there, dude. We're right there. Let me go back. Eugene Levy. Come on. We're close, right? But one is a comedian and an entertainer, and the other one is a serious politician. That's for sure. I don't know much about him. So if you know, he's 67 years old, born on August 1st, 1956. Spouse is Catherine Burgum. Let me just look at the bio and I'll read a couple things. Douglas James Burgum is an American businessman and politician serving since 2016 as the 33rd governor of North Dakota. He is among the wealthiest governors in the United States and has an estimated net worth of $100 million, according to Forbes. He is a member of the Republican Party. Previous campaign. He just said something on Fox the other day. Debate is an opportunity to ask something about seeks to raise Biden debate expectations ahead of showdown. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know much about him, but he was on the list that Trump sent a letter out, a vetting letter, to several people. I know one of them was Marco Rubio. Another one was Burgum. Another one was it wasn't MTG. Wasn't Matt Gaetz, who I like. Wasn't MTG. Was Ben Carson. Look, Ben Carson's a lot smarter than people think, but the guy is boring. He he puts me to sleep fucking talking to him. It was bad, and there was somebody else. There was a few people, and Cheryl sent me the list. Do you have the list, or Trump? Trump. That's EP picks. Here we go. Here's a short list. All right, we're going to Associated Press. Yeah, see, Burgum's like right at the first guy. See? I don't know if it's... Are you watching the YouTube?
I just popped away for a second to look at the list.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm trying to think.
Byron Donalds. Byron Donalds is on his list, which I like, Byron Donalds, because I know more about him. I like what he's done. But go if you know more about him, please do. Sorry. Okay, I'm ready. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know that much about it. The easiest pickoff will be Marco Rubio. I don't know why he's even on the list.
Yeah, he's a deep
That would be
stater.
an absolute gift to the Democratic Party if he's on the list.
Yes, I agree.
Because him getting picked up in a park where young prostitutes would pick up older men, and
they'll slam him.
That's going to be the main thing that gets on every news thing. So that would be very unwise for him to get picked up on that. Nobody says he was a prostitute, but he was there. So
it fucking happened. So this is a thing that's interesting about a VP pick. Is some VP picks are usually half the man of, so far, half the man of, less than half the man of the president. And the reason for that, like, for example, Pence, he was, and then look at Kamala Harris. People are like, are you serious? Kamala Harris? Fuck. Whatever. And then Joe Biden was Obama's. And I knew Joe Biden was a piece of crap. That was an interesting pick to me. And I remember Obama, that I was, Obama, this guy's fucking awesome. I was there. But I was like, isn't this guy there was something about him that everybody was talking about back in the day was the, what's the act of, it was the criminal act, or he's always been really hard on criminals, not criminals, but blacks. I'm trying to remember anyway, go ahead.
No, I forgot the name of that. You mean the one Biden did where he put so many blacks in prison?
Yeah, the something act, and it'll come to me. I gotta stretch out. Yeah, stretch out. That helps. I'm just. Yeah, it was the criminal something act. Criminal. Where they had. They made it really tough on a lot of people for really minor offenses, and the prisons just filled up with mostly low income and blacks and minorities. It was pretty bad, and Kamala was right behind it. But anyway, it'll come to me. So Burgum, from what I'm seeing, honestly, what is so good about Burgum? Let me see if that's in there. Why Doug Burgum? Oh yeah, that's what he said the other day. Let's. I'm gonna play this. Are you listening to? Are you watching your?
Yeah.
Your YouTube.
Yeah.
I want to play this because he said, defense claims that the U.S. is a dictatorship under Biden, which I fully agree. You can't not agree to that. They want masks. They want mandates. They want lockdowns. They want it all again. They want the authoritarian, the Orwellian ministry of truth. Only what they say is true. Their science is the science. All this other stuff. But let me just play this. Might be a commercial.
I want to ask you about something that you've been saying repeatedly about President Biden. Take a listen to this.
Talk about being a dictatorship. This is what's happening under Biden. Under Joe Biden, we're actually living under a dictatorship today.
If you want to find out what it's like to live in a dictatorship, we're living in one now.
Well, we know what it's like under dictatorship, and that dictatorship right now is Joe Biden.
I understand you don't like President Biden's policies on immigration or student loans, but respectfully, I mean, you're calling the democratically elected president a dictator?
Well, we've got three branches of government, and this president, more like any other, has bypassed Congress because as a governor of a natural resources state, a big ag state, we're facing over 30 rules and mandates. Each one of those could be 800 pages to 1,400 pages long. None of them have come from Congress, and all of them could literally kill the industries that we have in our state, including baseload electricity, which we need to be competitive in the arms race around AI with China, who's building baseload electricity plants like 2 a month. So that's happening without Congress. And then, of course, on the student loan thing, when the Supreme Court ruled against him, then he just said, hey, we'll figure a different way to do it. So I just think that there's, again, a double standard here. He is bypassing the other two branches of government to push an ideological view, whether it's on economics or whether it's on climate extremism. He's doing that without using the other branches. And
you don't like his executive orders and you don't like his policies. I understand that. I don't think anyone expects the Republican governor to agree with President Biden on that. But it's not a dictatorship.
Well, I think, again, part of where this word has come from there's been a nonstop media attack on President Trump saying that he might use executive orders when he takes office. And was trying to make the point here that under this current administration, most of the changes that are driving inflation in our country, the stuff he's not doing on the border, which he could be doing with executive orders. I mean, the open borders and the inflation are things that he's doing by himself alone, ignoring the other branches of government.
Well, I counted. Trump signed 220 executive orders when he was in office. President Biden so far has only signed 139, the same time span. And on executive action on immigration, it was Speaker Mike Johnson who was calling on President Biden to take executive action, saying it wasn't Congress's responsibility, it was his.
The United States hasn't called up its citizens for mandatory military service in over 50.
That's also stupid. But anyway, let me just say, he's just by hearing that and hearing him speak, he has a pretty good idea of what's going on. He wasn't able to rebuttal that. Now 139 to 200 and something. There's still 6 months left, and usually executive orders get poured on in the later part of a term. We all know that. We've seen that. Now, the question is have those executive orders benefited the 99.9% of the country, the working class, the working poor, middle class, etc. And I don't think that's the case. I could show you TikTok after TikTok or X after X and data or videos after videos of how these executive orders and everything that he's done has been extremely detrimental to this country. Tons of stuff, and he can say dictatorship because under his rule there is no free speech. Right? This is all through the Democratic Party. Free speech has disappeared. You couldn't. I'm on my 6th channel because of all this. Just to let you know, all the stuff that I said, brought up, hinted, mentioned, alerted to, warned everybody of back in 2020, early 2020, throughout 2021, and through all these channels I've been through, are now being said now. Are now out there. It's amazing. It's freaking amazing. So, the things that Biden is doing is terrible. I mean, the laundry list is is huge. The bag of the aftermath and the trail of destruction upon our financial system, our food system. I mean, just so many things has been terrible. Even our infrastructure is still fucked up. You know, because we want to send 200 billions and billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine. It's fucking nuts. It's nuts. So, what's your take on Bergman so far?
So far, he seems like he's a businessman that would be balanced. He's working out of a state that has a state bank. So he's got a little bit different rules to play with than almost every other state governor that there is. Sorry.
What's the difference between a state bank and what is the difference?
It's actually a bank run by the state of North Dakota.
Oh, we don't have. Does Missouri have a bank like that? No.
No.
How many?
Just.
Go ahead.
Just North Dakota.
That's kind of cool.
In previous times when we've had financial shortfalls, North Dakota wasn't hurt. So it's a wonderful thing going on. The fact that he didn't abolish it is already saying something good about it.
Oh, that's an important point. So and what backs that bank?
Move over.
No, that's all right. What tangible thing?
The state of North Dakota.
Right, just the state itself.
That's all they go on.
Really? Wow.
And so when everybody else is playing all the tricks and stuff to bring finances apart, they just run their state right. That's how they get by.
That's what we should do.
I'm not a financial genius, and I probably couldn't describe exactly everything that he's going. I bet we're going to start seeing people talk about what he's doing to make all this happen. And that will be interesting to hear. And I don't know that he's going to make vice president. So Ben Carson, I keep messing up which one is Ben Carson. Is he the surgeon or is he the
surgeon
guy?
Black guy that talks like this and he's really slow
when it comes to the surgeon, when the claims of the former patients that he's had and patients' families, that's going to be a lot of negative.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So the book Beautiful Hands, where he talks about how took this two conjoined twins, and everybody said there was no way that there could be a positive outcome. He believed he did a beautiful job, and the families said they wish they'd never done it.
Yeah,
because he was the only one that did it, and the outcome was really horrible. So, as each of these people comes apart, in the vetting process, you have to say what negative things are going to come out. We already know how negative this is going to get. So we can expect anything from plane crashes, whatever, to make things hit the news. I'm sorry if I say plane crashes, but you never know.
Boeing isn't doing too well right now. That's all I got to say.
We've got a spacecraft up there that really should not be returning with 2 astronauts on it. I'm not saying that as professional, but even their own staff is saying we need at least till July 7th or July 2nd to be sure if it's safe for them to come back.
Are they trying to rush it?
Well, they're really don't know what they're trying to do, but if they can make it to the second week of August, they can bring the 2 astronauts back on a SpaceX spacecraft.
Okay.
Which would be absolutely devastating to
NASA.
Boeing.
To Boeing itself, yeah.
If they have to be
SpaceX
rescued,
had to rescue them.
Yes. But realistically, if there's doubts on the propulsion system for a spacecraft, they should be considering that as a no-go. And again,
Yeah, it just seems, space isn't very friendly to human beings. That's all I got to say.
no, it's not friendly to human beings in a spacecraft with questionable propulsion.
Oh, yeah. Fuck that. Just having the question mark there kind of says, you know what? We need to go in another direction here. We need to look at other options that are much safer.
The main thing
What?
The main thing that's delaying, if they were to send a SpaceX up, if they send SpaceX up, it will delay the next SpaceX mission by 3 months, and they need a month to make spacesuits to actually fit the
people they're rescuing?
Yeah, they should have spare spacesuits for every one of those people already ready, and they don't. So,
Isn't that terrible? Isn't that ridiculous?
So originally,
Oh my
they thought
God,
that
how
Boeing,
stupid.
when they made the contracts out, they made two contracts out. They made a contract out for $5.4 billion for Boeing. They made a contract out for a little over $2 billion to SpaceX. So they thought SpaceX wasn't going to be the realistic one that was going to be there. They thought Boeing was, so they got the most money. So we're getting now liftoff after liftoff from SpaceX. We're getting not just one liftoff per spacecraft, it's getting reused multiple times. So realistically, SpaceX is the one that should have the big contract, and the Boeing should have the backup. And if
Yeah, I mean, who's got the better record right now?
right.
Yeah.
On the other hand, while SpaceX is doing well as a third party, I think that NASA should have had more oversight in each of the phases, saying, okay, this is going on, this is going on, this is going on, this is what should not happen in a crew thing. That they lifted off with problems. I would like more of an inquiry into what problems did they know they had and what risks did they do. Because remember, to get another contract, they needed to have a spacecraft go up to the International Space Station and bring the astronauts back down to Earth to get certified. So there was really another $5.4 billion contract kind of riding on them sending it up. And my guess, with everything else going on, the rest of Boeing having some financial difficulties, they probably needed a really good contract, and they might have said go no matter what. And remember,
That's what I was saying. They rushed it, they pushed it, they got desperate.
and that's what happened in
we are.
1987. 1987, all the engineers were saying no go, no go. We're too low temperature, and they had the thing that tonight's presidential is going to be about the success of the space shuttle, and they said lift. So they launched. It's not good situations. But when I look at the governor's choices, that we have possibilities for governors.
We're going to Bergman.
Yeah, Bergman. And so I looked at
Ben
Bergman.
Carson? Oh, God.
Ben Carson. I lost my
Yeah,
list.
Mike, impressions and review. Thank you for being here. God, you know what? You get Ben Carson, and then it kind of seals it for Trump. I don't know. We were just talking about Ben Carson had some problems with some of his surgeries, but that's coming from the Demoncrats. Anyway.
My thought is the choice of Ben Carson was to try to get the black vote.
Yeah, but then they have another person here to get that, which is Byron Donalds, who I think is great, but I just feel he's a little young. He's a little young.
You see the 39-year-old?
Black guy, yeah. Let me look. I think he's like 30, 40. Oh, he's 45. Well,
So
the darker the
he's
skin, the younger you look these days. I swear to God.
No, there's one on the list that was 39, I believe.
That was
Am I wrong?
Yeah. let me just go back to the list. I'm going to check. Doug Burgum, he's 67. J.D. Vance, he's 39. That's him, J.D. Vance. Marco Rubio, pass. He's a deep stater. Tim Scott, Elise Stefanik, pretty serious candidate. Ben Carson. I kind of like Ben Carson, but it's just, he speaks, he's a brilliant man. He knows a lot, there's no doubt, but he puts me to fucking sleep. If you want excitement and if you want power behind you, definitely Burgum. This J.D. Vance, I don't know nothing about him. But let's go through. We're already at Byron Donalds. Let me see what Byron Donalds has got here. Just give me a second. I want to see what this kid's about. All right. The Florida congressman has become one of Trump's most prominent conservative black supporters and a reliable surrogate on television and at events. His selection could help bolster Trump's appeal with black voters, which he doesn't need, especially with the young black men that the campaign has been courting as it tries to eat into Biden's 2020 coalition. At 45, Donalds is also the kind of fresh face who would serve a marked contrast to the men at the top of the both parties' tickets. But 45 Donald, here comes the shitty part from Associated Press. At 45, Donalds is also the kind of fresh face who would serve a marked contrast to the men at the top of the... Okay, but like Rubio, Donalds would likely need to move to join the ticket. And he, too, has a history of controversial statements, including at recent Congress cognac and cigars, even in Philadelphia, where he seemed to reflect favorably on the Jim Crow. Oh my God, they blew that up. And they're talking about the Jim Crow fucking comment. And then Al, that wannabe priest guy, had him on and tried to. It's bullshit. You see, during Jim Crow, the black family was together. During Jim Crow, more people were not just conservative. Black people always have been conservative-minded, but more black people vote conservatively. I don't see what the problem is with that. But they picked it apart. Anyway, so he's a guy that would help, I think. I don't think Ben Carson would. The only woman on this short list, New York congressional woman, could help Trump win over skeptical college, educate, and suburban women who sided with the Biden in 2020. Stefanik was once an aide to the former White House Speaker Paul Ryan, and served in the President George W. Bush. Yeah, already I don't like him.
There's other issues on there that I can't remember her first name. I believe she's the one that believes that we should be attacking not just Israel, but we should be attacking Gaza.
Yeah. That's
would
crazy.
Immediately
that would
remove,
just spark off Iran and just.
Well, no, but just in running, if she were to get the vice president, that will lose 20 points. I mean, 20% of the people would just leave. A lot of people do not want to have our country go to war. We do not want to be baiting so many countries to go to war with us.
Yeah.
And the last thing we want to do is to get in. What I'm seeing out here, and I don't know if that's everywhere. I'm guessing your state is kind of like mine.
Yeah.
In that, especially Missourians are where the statement have a lot of or speak softly and carry a big stick came from. So have lots of power, but don't boast about it. Don't use it that much. Other countries that did this, Switzerland, Switzerland has one of the most major military and trained populace. There are machine guns at every block, and those people are trained how to use them. Countries don't like to think about invading Switzerland. For centuries,
Right.
they used to have all kinds of things that keep neutral. So they're neutral, but they have power. They just don't. Sweden used to be extremely well situated, and I personally believe now I support the military complex. My students all go to work there, or not all of them, but many of them.
Well, in a sense,
But I am.
we have to have one. We have to have one.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm
go
sorry.
back to the
We've
ancient
made
Polynesians.
We've made so
Ancient
many friends. You know. That's
So
what I'm
the
saying.
ancient Polynesians, the Maori,
Right.
they had intricate dances that they all did together. They wore jewelry and everything to make them look like
Yeah.
the meanest people on the planet. They didn't do a whole lot of going around and attacking people. They had the basically speak softly and have a really big stick, or at least really have the look that you had a really big stick.
Okay. What are we talking about?
No, but
I get you.
they're also back in the Polynesian era, you were either, if you were passive, you were food. If you weren't, you had to have a military presence that made people not want to attack you. They didn't have metals and anything else, so all of the islands out there, they were easily attacked. So they had to appear, at least, and to them, their training and being able to show that they were a force that was worked together to understand how to do war scared people away. It was a very effective way. Same thing, the Swiss. They let people know that they had power. They didn't exercise it. And realistically, we should be doing that here as well. The people that want to do away with the military industrial complex, the second we shut it all down, we'll be invaded.
Oh, for sure. No, I got it.
Instantaneously. So
I was in the Navy, Snark. You don't have to tell me. but it's good for people to know that for sure.
And again, we have a lot of technologies that we do not talk about, and
That's
I
a
don't
good
think
point.
we should be talking about. But I do not think that we should be sending troops to more and more countries, causing more and more wars. And we're just paying for it all, and we need to work on ourselves. So I look at, when I see somebody that's on the list that wants us to attack, I do not want them on the list.
Yeah, this aggressive thing is not a good idea. Let me just cut away for a second. I wanted to read some stuff from Mike, impressions and reviews. Good stuff from him. Scott and Carson would be seen as Uncle Toms, of course. Only Donalds could connect really with most black men. I agree. Not sure how Trump expects to win if the voting process is the same as 2020 and Trump really won in 2016 because Hillary's numbers were much lower. Trump had similar numbers to Romney. Okay. I wonder what's more important. This is a good question. I wonder what's more important, cutting into the minority vote or getting more suburban women. So in regards to Stefanik and the minority vote, I really don't. I think if he picks somebody that's like Snork is saying, and Snork is saying that, the aggressive type, whoever it is and what country it is not a good idea right now. Because the biggest point that Trump's made that I've hung on to for about a year when he said it, he was, I just want the killing to stop. Those were his exact words. And people brought up the wars, and he's the guy who never started a war. He ended wars, as a matter of fact. So if he's bringing in people that are just war, now let's also keep in mind that Israel is surrounded by, it's like Israel is an interesting creature because it was like throwing a goldfish in a piranha tank, because it's surrounded by the Muslim religion, up, down, sideways, backwards, north, south, east, west. It's like a little goldfish in a giant piranha tank. Now, I'm not saying Muslims are a bunch of flesh-eating piranhas. All I'm saying is whoever fucking installed Israel wasn't a smart person, in my opinion. But the thing is, it's always been a good money-raising, go-to money laundering, war is a racket, Smedley Butler type thing. Because I've pointed out in this show that the country that's received the most, quote unquote, foreign aid, which they usually do before an election. If you go back in history, and I know Snork knows most of this, we always see the escalation of Gaza and Palestine, Gaza, and Israel. This always happens like every 3 to 4 years, usually always right before a major election. And money gets thrown at them. So right now, Israel's at about $300 billion that they've received from us in foreign aid. They hold the number one spot of any other country. Guess who's a close second, or coming in at second, is Ukraine, in just a matter of a few years, a couple of fucking years. Crazy. We've been building up the $300 billion for Israel for decades and decades, like 3 or 4 or 5 decades, almost 50 years. But Ukraine comes around and they're neck and neck with them within a few years. The money laundering is happening, for sure. And then, yeah, I agree. I wonder, Tulsi seems like a good choice as a bridge for different kinds of voters. Seems there was a good amount of Obama, Trump, Biden voters. So he has to try and get them back. Well, Trump, I just got to say this. This is a no-brainer. Trump has at least 80,000. Excuse me, wrong. 80 million people in his base ready to check his name off. At the very least, that's a solid 80 million. I don't think Biden has 40 million. I really don't think. I think his numbers are so terrible. I don't even think the true numbers are coming out for that guy. And I get it. Tulsi would help grab a few more people that aren't very happy with the direction of where these, if they're paying attention, of where fucking Biden is going. I totally get that. Tulsi, I think, would be a good addition to Trump's Secretary of State, in my opinion. She has a ton of experience with foreign policy. She's monitoring everything, and she's not pro fucking war. She's a little heavy on the pro war against Muslims, but she doesn't want to see any more fighting. That's for sure. Right, and that's the thing that Snork's trying to bring up. But his case is, stay away from the fucking warmongers. We're just sick of that, because all the warmongering is just getting more money. Laundering more money. That's all that is. That's all that is. It's a circle jerk. It comes back into their campaigns some way or another. Yeah, this Bergen guy is starting to really look really good. Tulsi, I don't know why MTG wasn't on there. Look, Trump's base loves MTG. Matt Gaetz would have been a good pick too. Too strong. Chip Roy would have been a good one as well.
Well, I believe that the MTG, while she would be good for the Trump space, we look at what it would do. Because right now they're fighting over 5 to 10% of the populace. That's all they feel, that whoever wins 5 to 10% of the populace is going to be president. Yeah. And they're not looking at upsetting the number of people that MTG would bring in. They're other people that are not in there. They might not even Tulsi might not even really be in there just because how upset Democrats are with her. Is they feel that she didn't.
Well, she cut off Kamala's nuts at that fucking debate, dude. That was the greatest moment in fucking debate history. And then the worst moment was when Tulsi pulled out and said, and she was forced. She later on admitted, and people have read her book. What was the name of the book? Something patriotic. I don't know, whatever. But in there, it's been stated that she was forced. She was basically bullied into leaving the party. It's crazy what they did to her, and a lot of Democrats when Pedo Joe came around was pretty bad. And then look, last but not least, this he's like an Obama 2.0. You know who I'm talking about? The witty, charismatic Vivek Ramaswamy, right? Wow. This kid is amazing. There is no doubt. And he speaks from the heart. I don't think there's anything really bad about him. He's got a few big pharma ties. I know that. That he's denounced a lot of that stuff. But I know he hates, with a passion, the World Economic Forum. He's brought them up several times, and I like that. Now, and then MTG would be like Palin. Well, this is the thing about MTG. She's not as dumb as everybody thinks she is, but she's kind of a loose cannon, right? I've heard her come off a little too gunslinging-ish when it comes to being on the floor. It's like, I see where you're getting at, but you didn't have to go that far. This is what she does sometimes. Sometimes you've got to just kind of, in the political world, you can say what you're trying to say, but you don't have to be, in ass in your face fucking how she is sometimes, which doesn't come across very well. But I like her because she's strong. Not just physically, but she's a strong fucking woman. Strong woman. One more comment coming from Mike, Impressions and Reviews. States did unconstitutionally change their voting procedures before and during COVID. And these main voting centers in the major cities of swing states have to be able to be closely watched in the same. I brought that up to Trump along like a year ago. I have somebody that speaks with him and talks with him. I don't know if I've introduced you to him, Snork, but I will in the future. I've known him since I was, in my 40s. The guy's really cool. So I said that he needs to get boots on the ground, a giant army of fucking people going out to all the swing states, all the major poll areas, locations, major poll locations where shit has been fishy in the past. And then I clearly pointed out, God, this is probably I've pointed out at least 2 or 3 times a year how Fluvid-19 gave the ability for, and thank you for reminding this, to stretch out the process of the counting process. They needed 10 more days. Some states were at, I think, 20 days. There were some states that had 20 more days to get mail-in ballots, to collect ballots, but it also gave them time to stuff more ballots and to remove more ballots and to put up more 4x8 foot sheets of plywood on their windows so people couldn't see them, counting and doing stuff that should be more transparent than anything. And there's just so many things that happened through COVID-19 that helped create what I think was just an absolute and total theft of an election. Absolutely. The only state legislator of a state have the authority on how federal elections are to be run. Go to Ballotpedia, and I brought this up. Just go to ballotpedia.org or com.org. Let me see. Ballot. Go ahead. You're gonna. I'm gonna go there right now. I'm gonna show this guy. Ballot.
Yeah, and to me though, that it's the flu that allowed the campaigns to be run from basements. And I really don't see that to be any different right now. I do not see Biden getting out to crowds. When he talks and they immediately shuffle him away. Even if he has to be led by his hand and guided to be off the stage. But there are no conferences where questions get to be asked to the president and answered. And realistically, if he's not well enough to campaign, he's not well enough to be president.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, the reason why, okay, they do talk about Biden being a felon, or not Biden, Trump being a felon. But remember the reasons they gave for him not going to trial was that he was not competent to be able to take a disposition.
Yes.
And at that point, he should have been. So our 25th Amendment, Article 4 says that at that point, the members of his cabinet had the duty to remove him from office.
And they didn't. And nothing happened.
And so to me, as soon as Biden gets ill and they have to say somebody has to come in and fill in for Kamala being vice president, I would say that those people have all proven, every single person in the cabinet have all proven that they're not capable of doing their right or duties in the 25th Amendment. That means they're not capable of doing their duties as president. And that whole list of cabinet members should be removed.
Oh, yeah. It was bad. Yes. So what I'm saying, it was the absentee and mail-in ballot returning deadlines were changed. There was just a lot of time to do some nefarious stuff. I had all the states in one of my, it's somewhere. I'm not going to go looking for it. I know I had all the states listed. Like one state had 5 extra days, another state had 8 extra days, another state like 20 before and after. It was crazy. Go ahead.
All I can say is the only place where I can see that they need extra time is for people that are on bases outside the United States or on duty, some type thing where they have to be out. And I don't know if they should be voting early or if they should be allowed extra time to get out. If they're in a submarine, they might not be able to surface, send data back on a special time. So realistically, somebody that's got more experience in that area needs to speak up. But as for me, I should not get an extra 20 days to send my mail ballot in. I've got a mile to go to get to my election place. I'm upset that since COVID, they no longer give out cookies when you get your vote. When I moved here, everybody else had lines and stuff. We go in, we had chairs. We didn't have time to sit down. They just bring us right in. First thing they do is they'd offer cookies and Kool-Aid.
What happened, man? Yeah, we need that back. I remember in California, when I lived in California, we had, there was what was that they had? Oh, they just had candies in a dish. Little mints and candies in a dish. That's what I remember.
But regardless of which party you were representing, you got treated decently when you went in to vote.
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't matter who was sitting on the other side of the table. Oh, thank you for voting today. My little town has only got maybe 4,000 people that vote, and every single one of us is still have treated with respect. In fact, we had like 4 different precincts, so we didn't all go to the same place.
Right.
No more than 5 people would be in there at the same time voting. And then after COVID, they made us all line up 6 feet apart. So
Yeah,
anyway.
it was stupid. Now, I remember I was in Cali, but I sent a mail-in absentee ballot, and I voted for some Green Party lady that had absolutely no chance of doing anything. I forgot her name, Alarda or something like that, out of California. And as I look back at that, with all that I know about Trump now, what happens to Trump and Russia, and the bullshit impeachments and all these frivolous freaking felony charges by biased and rigged and corrupt judges and all this other crap that's happening, I feel like such an idiot. But I've been there before, I've been there before. I voted for Bush twice. Right. I voted for Bush because I just thought that was the only thing we could do at the time.
Which one?
No, the first one I didn't. I don't really remember. I wasn't too political back then when I was in my 30s or 20s or 30s. I wasn't really.
I also refer to the Gulf Wars as Bush War One, Bush War Two.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So what I have up right now, I don't know if it's changes to election dates, procedures, administration in response to coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic 2020. This article is a modification made to election dates and procedures, and things were extended. Right? There was a lot of things that moved, a lot of things changes, and that really helped the whole process for the liars and the cheaters and the stealers. It really. Recent developments here, October 19th, just all kinds of stuff that was happening. The states, voting procedures modification, general election, look at that, just all kinds. All these states just went through all this.
And it all happened in October, which is the big fear here, is that all of our voting will be shut down for
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. That's a good thing we should, oh, yeah. Go ahead.
chicken flu. Let's call it chicken flu.
Yeah, chicken flu, the chicken flu. No, I call it Fluvid-19 2.0.
Well,
Yeah, the chicken
anyway,
flu, for sure.
so almost all the eggs that are grown for medicine are grown in one county in Iowa. And they're in these buildings that are about a mile long. They're not completely a mile, but they're almost a mile long. And there are a whole bunch of buildings lined up, and there's in the billions of eggs that are made. I mean, many. So if they lose those chickens, they've got to replenish those chickens before they can make a lot of the medicines we make. So a lot of the medicines are made in eggs. So we're looking at possible loss of turkeys, chickens. About the only thing that we're going to be able to eat this fall might be pork.
Wow.
So, but we don't know. So we don't know if it's real, but it'd be a wonderful excuse for Biden not to have to talk to anybody.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I still also have a big fear that when is the debate?
It's supposed
It's
to be
only
a week from now, or
yeah. So if he comes off as really bad, that immediately we might have a totally new person.
oh yeah, they're this close. They're like they know they're not going to win, and this solidifies it. If he fucking, even if Trump has to deal with 3 other people doing the debating for Biden at CNN, we know that's going to be the case. It's still going to look shitty. There's nothing that he's going to say that's going to help him. He's requested recently, by the way. He's requested recently that he wants to sit down.
They're saying that that they want to be able to mute his microphone,
Yeah.
keep him from making noises, and having the ability to wander around. And I'm saying if they're going to do that to Trump, they should do that to Biden too. Just to be fair.
Of course, that's not going to be fair. It's not. That's not why he. They set it all up. They said it's like going to a boxing match, and this is the way it's been for Trump since he's put his name in a hat. Ever since he's put his name in a hat politically, he's gotten just God. The guy's been fucking beaten and battered, but he's still bobbing and weaving, man. Bobbing and weaving. He's still fucking doing it. It's amazing what he's still doing. But yeah, this is the boxing match is like this. One guy gets to wear brass knuckles, and the other guy gets to wear pillowcases, right? The other guy gets to wear, the right shoes, boxing shoes, and the other guy has to wear boots for a deep sea diver, right? It's amazing. And what's really amazing is how the Demoncratic supporters are okay with all this. It's just, that's what really boggles my mind is how, and it's not even cognitive dissonance at this point. Either they're getting paid to turn the other cheek, or just not bring up that very simple fact that the guy isn't there. He has no fucking clue what's happening. He might for like a minute and a half, but then he's off somewhere else.
And what they might be doing is they might be trying to get Biden in jail on the night of the debate, so he can't be on. Or not Biden. They might be trying to get Trump in jail on the night of the.
Yeah, they want to get him in. They don't want to get him in custody. Oh darn, he couldn't make it. Now that's democracy. Like I said, Demoncrats, the pot calling the kettle black party. It's a fucking amazing. I'm just, man, have you ever seen such tyrannical, authoritarian type sociopathic behavior in your life from a party? I just never. It's dumbfounded. It's dumbfounded. I'm dumbfounded. Snork, have you ever heard it? It's just fucking amazing. Let me read this comment real quick. The whole thing was odd by Biden trying to manipulate the debate schedule and procedure. Trump just went along with it. Yeah, he just said, yeah, whatever. Fucking, let's go. He Yeah, it's not going to go well. They're going to do whatever they can to stop this debate because he's getting worse by the hour. I mean, the stuff that he's doing now, the fumbling, the mumbling, the last thing I think that happened to him, he was, and there could have had, something could have fucking happened today, was the parachuters guys came down and all of a sudden they're all, the parachuter guys talking to them, showing him what he's doing and all this stuff, and then Biden just kind of turns away and starts walking away, just, and he's looking at nobody. The guy that was in the ground below him wouldn't even know was there. But the stage with Obama thing, he froze. Literally, you can see it. He fucking just froze, and then Barack had to fucking come on, little buddy.
That looked bad. But so did the two-cheek salute to Macron. And my guess, that is why they want to be sitting down.
Yeah.
They don't want him to bend over and make any motions like he's taking a crap during the debate.
When he is actually taking a crap. Here's what's interesting too. I got to tell you this. The one that I saw that was really weird. The weirdest one. He's done some weird shit. He's visiting the Pope, and he comes up to the Pope, and he puts his fucking head on the Pope like this. Like, here's the Pope's head. Like this.
I've never seen that motion before.
Oh my God. It wasn't like, Sir,
I actually thought he was going to drill on him.
he may have. I don't know, but look, all I'm saying is he's not going to be ready. They're going to. What I'm hearing through the grapevine is they're going to find a way to stop it. Like you said, they want to throw Trump in jail before he goes in. Oh, sorry, you can't debate him. You're in fucking jail. This is just crazy. But what we're talking about majorly right now, just letting you know, just trying to get back. I mean, God, it's so crazy. We can go in so many fucking directions, Snork.
Yeah.
We can go in so many directions.
Don't even have to sit and think long. It's just like bang, bang, bang. You come up with the ideas.
My mind is so full of so many fucking things that are going on that are so heinous, detrimental, and fucking destructive to our country. I can't keep up. It's hard to keep up every fucking day. I am waking up, and I work. I got to be at work tomorrow morning at 6, by the way. But the thing is I wake up, and the first thing I'm doing is I'm, getting on the phone. I might, before going to work, I'm going to look a little something. And there he is, fucking up. There's he just made it legal for the 20, 30 million people that came in within the past 3 freaking years to have full amnesty with their kids.
Yeah, I've not seen this going well at all. It's a tough one. But realistically, if we look at the entry rules for every other country, now, if you want to go to Canada, you have to meet criteria that there's a job for you, or that you have a certain amount of money, you're a certain age range, you're certain, you've got no really bad felonies or anything like that. We're about the only country that anybody can come to.
We've been doing that for a while, bro.
And we're no longer an empty country where people need to go places. People keep saying that, the northwest is almost all empty. We need to keep that part of the country empty.
Yeah.
This is an area.
North Dakota, South Dakota, Idaho.
Yeah. So these are areas where we don't have to go in there and build all kinds of roads. They don't have the water supply to bring in lots of people. And the water that's there needs to flow out to the other states. And I'm saying that at a time when all around me the flood warnings are going off. But it's not things smooth out.
Right.
But realistically, we are full. We're full until we decide that we need to spend as much money domestically as we do outside the country. Before we send one drop of money to different countries for attacking, that every one of these attacks is going to end up as a seed for an attack on American people 10, 15, 20 years from now, where the people that are being abused now in these countries, those survivors, are going to come back and attack us. We reap what we sow, and we're letting them cross into the borders right now. First, we shouldn't be making the people angry by supplying the weapons that are being used to kill them. I'm in a state where we can't disagree with Israel. So Israel's doing the right thing in removing all of those people.
Yeah. No, like I said, we've made so many friends over the past few decades. Come on in. Fuck. You know how many fucking people on this planet hate us? There's 8 billion people on this planet, and I guarantee you at least a third of them hate the fuck out of us.
Yeah.
I mean, really want us not to exist at all because of how we've made so many friends with our coups and our overturning of political figures and staged and orchestrated wars here, I mean, and there and everywhere, and Syria, the chemical crap. Remember the This is my favorite one is where the girl said that the Syrian president at the time, and his name's not coming to me. I don't know why that is. Anyway, he used chemical weapons on his own people, and this CNN whatever reporter goes up to the fucking backpack that was supposedly full of these poisonous, dangerous, deathly, terrible chemicals, and picks it up and goes, "Oh yeah, that smells really bad. That definitely smells like it's got something." I'm like, are you guys fucking seeing this? I mean, it's just ridiculous, and people buy this shit left and right. And look, we've talked about 9/11. We know about the Gulf of Tonkin. I'm not going to get into that, by the way. I'm not going to.
We never talk about Beirut.
Oh,
and Beirut's a bad one. I bet we can't talk about Beirut for a long time. The fact that ship full of explosive fertilizer was parked next to a fireworks factory, which was next to a grain bin. Grain, when it's aerosolized, has almost the impact of a nuclear
nitrous
weapon. I mean, no, it's really bad. So
worse than that?
Once there's an impact and it gets suspended with air between it, it's almost the level of explosion of nuclear.
Well, Beirut was crazy. Did you that was like a plume? That was huge.
If you watch the film, it's a 3-phase explosion.
Uh-huh.
So you see three things on off. When you see the grain bin go, you see just an extremely huge explosion, white clouds and everything. Why was a fireworks factory next to it? Okay, that might have been one act of stupidity. Why was this explosive ship parked next to a grain bin, even if the firework factory wasn't there? Why was that parked there for 10 years? Who owned it? Why was that there?
I think some of those questions have been answered. There's some sources that I know that have some go ahead, sorry.
But yeah, I mean, I'd like to see more questioning on that.
Yeah.
So we've got this new canal going in between about where somewhere on the west coast of Gaza, going over to river or bay, that is going to be the new alternative to the Suez Canal.
Wow.
And I think every investor in that should be immediately looked at as to see who's got money involved into that. And I'm wondering, what involvements, what things are going on. Why is it, people are talking about the fuel fields of Gaza, that there's some gas found. There's some gas found under it. The big money maker is the canal. They need the canal to go through there.
Yeah.
And I think the canal dwarfs any amount of money that they're going to get from the oil.
Yeah, Lindsey Graham just recently told the world, well, Ukraine has resources of an immense proportion. We're talking minerals, and we've known that. But anyway, I mean, there's just so many reasons out there why they start these things, why they keep them going. Really quick comment from Mike Impressions and Reviews. A main predictor for who wins the elections are sales of Halloween masks. I'll excuse.
Sad, but that's true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Isn't that weird? I've heard that before. And then right here, don't think Kristi Noem has a shot. Nah. Yeah, Kristi Noem. But anyway, listen.
I
go
believe.
Ahead.
I believe that they are distancing her.
Oh yeah. They're distant. I kind of like her. What do you think?
I'm not really that familiar with her.
No,
I guess
kinda like
I'm more on the John Wick side. Once I heard she shot her dog,
No, it's well, she had there was a reason. She had. I mean,
I
she's
didn't hear reasons or anything like that.
Well,
Like I said,
Christy Noem is a farmer through and through. Her family, cattle, groves, whatever, and that's just the way they are. I like her. Plus, I think she's fucking cuter than shit. I'm a sucker for brunettes with beautiful eyes. The problem that I think for her is she was for the TikTok Act to ban TikTok. When Josh Hawley here in Missouri, our Senate representative, was also for it, but my other Senate representative, Eric Smith's like, dude, get out of that. Don't fucking do that. So he stopped. And Naomi kind of did too, but they still screwed us on TikTok. But anyway, hey, it's getting a little late. I got to get going.
Yeah.
I got stuff to do in the morning. I got to get up at fucking 5 something in the morning. But anyways, thank you for being on. Cheryl, I don't know what happened. I sent you the information. Hopefully you're okay. Thank you for being here, Mike. Impressions and reviews. Also, Jordan, good having you here. Good talk. Let's just follow these VPs. I'm really good on Bergman, Byron, Donalds, but there could be a dark horse that could come out of somewhere, and I'm hoping it's Matt Gaetz. But let's just get back to what VPs usually are used for is just somebody in the background. You don't want them to be more or better or just as good as the actual candidate. That's always been the formula.
but with both of these candidates being so old, there's
They
a
need somebody
very high chance that whoever gets picked to be VP
Is gonna
will
be,
be president.
Oh,
And
for
my
sure.
my
Oh,
biggest
for sure.
fear is
For sure.
that Biden won't make it, and Vice President Giggles has to be put in as president.
Oh, wretched fucking. Oh, the God, that woman is. She's. Look, I always say random drug test for Congress. I've been wanting that for fucking, I don't know, 10 years, 20 years now, forever. All right, thank you for being here.
Yep.
Aloha, everybody. Good talking with you, Snork. Aloha. Take care. Bye-bye.